What's going on, guys? Look, happy Monday. Look, I hope you're having an amazing day. Look, one of the objectives that I had for 2026 is to read more. Now look, yes, I always read. Now here's the thing, but I hadn't been reading at the level that I wanted to read. So I decided to read 3 books this week. I've already started, and I'm a good ways in on 2 of the books. And one of the things that I discovered is that when you are reading, do you know what happens? Like, your concentration level goes up, your focus really improves. And immediately, one of the things that I discovered was that my focus and my concentration improved. Like I was reading yesterday, and it's like all of a sudden it's like I just became even more voracious about wanting the information. Now here's the thing. There's no transformation just because you get information. You may want to write that one down. There's no transformation just because you get information. And technically, that's not why I'm reading. I'm technically reading because I know that my capacity needs more information, right? So my main coach, Mr. Myron Golden, one of the things he teaches is that when you read, you give yourself a new ability to pull new information. Right. So for somebody like you're a leader, you're an aspiring leader, you're a business owner, entrepreneur, you need the data so that when you're in circumstances and situations that require that information, what you may not know about your mind and your spirit is that it can remember stuff that you didn't know you could remember. Now I'm not telling you that that's just going to immediately happen for you. I'm just letting you know that you can remember stuff that you like. I didn't know that I would remember that. So think of it like this. When you have a reading goal, think about this, a reading goal. Just, if you're not a big reader, 1 book a month. Like, that's easy. That's easy, but I don't like to read, Jay. Well, I'm just telling you, like, it's easy if you decide that it's easy. If you say it's hard, it's going to be hard. So remember, this whole week is about focus. It's about concentration, and it's about an objective. And one of the cool things that happened just a little while ago is that I have a note taker, an AI note taker. It's called Otter. Otter comes to all my meetings. And so I was going into Otter to go grab some notes from one of my meetings I had today. And Otter pops up and say, hey, look, we want to give you a prediction about 2026. I was like, oh, let me try it out. So it gives me this amazing prediction, because what it did was it looked over all of the meetings that it recorded for me in 2026, and then it used that information to say, hey, look, based on this information, this is what it looks like for you in 2026. You know what it said? It says, hey, well, you're going to go from being a tax strategist and a financial coach to literally being a business architect, to literally helping businesses scale. I was like, oh my goodness, helping businesses scale and creating systems that literally help that business to run without you. I read this and I says, this is exactly the objective for 2026. How did it know? Well, here's how it knew. It knew that all Jay has to do is continue on the path that he's on. So think about your concentration. Think about your focus for this week, but not even just for this week. Where are you really going? Like, where are you heading? Because if you don't know exactly where you're going, then how do you know that you would even get there if you don't know where that is? It's kind of like, if you decided to go on a trip, like my wife just went to New York and she came back. Now, what if she came to me and says, hey, honey, I'm going, because she went for her birthday. Hey, I'm going someplace, for my birthday. And I say, well, where are you going? I don't know. What you mean, don't know? But I'm leaving on Friday at this time, and I'm have some fun. Have some fun. Like, who you going with? I don't know. So how do you know you're going someplace? I'm just going to get in the car and start driving. Think about how insane I would think my wife is if she actually left the house and didn't know exactly where she was going. That's exactly what happens in many. I don't know about most, but I know many business owners that I talk to on a regular basis. They don't know exactly where they're going. So look, this week, take today to say, this is where I'm going. Look, don't Don't even concern yourself about how long it's going to take. Don't concern yourself about the problems that may pop up. Don't concern yourself about the fact that I've never been there before. Do not concern yourself with things that have nothing to do with you. Your job as the leader is to decide where you are going and then put all of your resource, your concentration, your focus on getting there. Last thing. Well, how do I get there? Is what some people would say. Well, that's a question you could ask. Because how you get there, you could figure out how to get somewhere as long as you know who's going. So this was last week. So if you've decided who you are and who you will be, and then how to get there is actually not going to be hard. I have not always known how I was going to become this type of business owner or an entrepreneur. I just decided that I would be that kind of business owner. And because I decided that's who I would be, getting there is not a problem. I know exactly where I'm going. And because I know exactly where I'm going, even AI told me where I'm going because of the information that I fed it about me and about what I'm doing. So look, guys, this week, concentrate. Get to the point where you know exactly where you're going so that you don't ever have to worry about anything. Comment below where you're going and what you're building in 2026. God bless you, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.